Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today I will be doing the tag that was created by Megan from Too Cool for Middle School and LaTonya from Smarty Style, and it's about the cost of being a teacher in your state. So I have my questions right here on my tablet, and I'll also be looking at my computer to refer to some information. Okay, so question 1, what state or country do you live in? I live in Georgia. Question 2, how many people live in your household? I live by myself, just me, myself, and I don't have any pets or anything. Question 3, are you a single or double income household? Obviously single, since it's just me. I don't have any roommates or anything. Question 4, do you own or rent? I rent. I live in an apartment and I pay rent every month. My apartment it included water, so I still have to pay all the other utilities. And my apartment included a washer and dryer, which is why I chose this place, because it had one included. So. Alright, question 5, what is your highest level of education? Does your education level affect your pay? Alright, so my highest education level right now is a bachelor's degree. I'm currently enrolled in a master's program, and in Georgia, your education level does impact how much you get paid. Question 6, how much did it cost you to attain your degrees? Are you still paying for your education? I don't know how much it cost for me to obtain my degree. When I got my bachelor's degree, all of that was covered with scholarship and grant, so I didn't take out student loans then. It was after I graduated, but before I started this program, that I took out loans, because I got my bachelor's degree in general studies, and I don't know what you can do with that degree. Nothing. So after I graduated, I still continued to take classes, and obviously I was in like a post-bac situation, so I couldn't use any scholarships, so that's when I took out loans. So I was taking classes basically until I joined the Army in 2011, because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and once I figured it out, I was already a lot of money in debt. I joined the Army. So I am still paying for my education because I'm currently in a degree, although this year I'm not taking out any more loans. I'm just going to pay cash, and yeah, I'll discuss more of that later. Question 7, how is your salary schedule structured? Starting point, max out salary, annual increases, etc. So for my district, like I said, we do get paid for a degree, and so we have tiers. And if you look at the salary schedule for basically all the counties in Georgia, across the top is where they have the tiers, and that's your education level. So a T4 would be a bachelor's degree, a T5 is a master's, T6 specialist, T7 is a doctorate, and then they do have some other stuff for like if you have a vocational certification or something like that. My category doesn't fall into any of that because I have a provisional license, because I don't have a degree in education yet. So right now mine is considered a provisional bachelor, so it could, some places consider that like a BT4. So across the top is the tiers, which is your education level, and then vertically that's the steps or your years of experience. And I didn't realize until recently, like just now I looked at it, that in my district for years 0 through 4 they consider all of that to be step 2, and there's no pay increases. So your first 5 years of teaching, you don't get a pay increase unless it's like district wide, like they're just increasing teacher salary, which I did not realize that. So obviously your first year of teaching you consider to not have any experience because you haven't been teaching. So a lot of places that's considered like step 0. I've seen a couple of places in Georgia where that's considered step 1. Most other places, like the first 2 or 3 years teaching in Georgia, you don't get any type of increase. But in my district is 0 through 4. So, okay. As you go across, your pay increases, but also as you go down with years of experience, that increases. So there is a big difference between having a bachelor's degree and a doctorate. There's a big pay difference. Even with bachelor's and master's is like a $5,000 difference. So it would be worth it to obtain a master's. I think in Georgia you have to have a degree. You can't just have a certain number of credits or a certain number of hours. You have to have a degree in order to see that pay increase, but also obviously number of years. So the highest in my district, if you've been teaching 21 plus years and you have a doctorate, you can earn up to $79,000 a year. I don't know if there's any other increases after that. In some other districts I saw that eventually the pay increases lessen, so it won't be like every year or every 2 years. It'd be like every 3 years, and they have up to like 30 plus years or 35 plus years. And some people, if they had a doctorate degree, could make close to 6 figures. Like I've seen like 90 something thousand for teachers. Obviously administrators, they get paid way more than that. So question 8 is, where are you on your district salary schedule? And I kind of explained that. I have a provisional license because I don't have a degree in education yet. So right now, actually, my certification gets paid the least amount out of all of them. So, and the provisional license is only good for 3 years. So after 3 years, you either have to complete a program or you just stop teaching. So it doesn't really matter how long you've been teaching. Like, it stays the same if you have a bachelor's degree and a provisional license. Now there's a difference if you have a master's degree and a provisional license. Like, their pay increases for some reason. I don't know. No, that's where I'm at. I'm in the 0 to 4 years of experience, which in my district is considered step 2 with the provisional bachelor's certification. All right. Question number 9. Do you supplement your income in any way? If so, how? So, as a special ed teacher, I actually get a supplement. It's not a lot. I think for the year it's like $3,000, but it's divided up. So on my paycheck is like an extra 150 or something like that. Also, if you didn't know, I was in active duty Army for 4 years, so I opted to do post 9/11, and that with post 9/11 they pay your school directly for tuition, and then you would get a monthly stipend depending on how much, like the number of hours and the type of hours, whether they're in person or online. It varies. Your monthly stipend could vary. It varies, like obviously when school starts versus when it ends, and the number of hours you're taking. I also receive disability from the Army, or from the VA I should say, but that's very minuscule. But that's it. I know some people coach. You could get extra money for coaching. Being a mentor teacher, if you go through the process, you could get extra money that way. Obviously special ed, if you're an EBD special ed teacher, you get a little more because yeah, they need that extra money. EBD, that's emotional behavior disorders. So like question 10, how much money does your district give you for supplies at the beginning of the year? Do they provide basic supplies throughout the school year? Right, so my district, we got, I believe it was $150, but it wasn't at the beginning of the year. Like, we started school I think August 7th, and we didn't see that until like the end of September, the beginning of October, and then it still took like 4 weeks for the supplies to arrive. I had to pay some stuff out of pocket for like basic supplies. They do have some supplies available, like we have like a little closet of supplies, but it's like slim pickings and they run out. So. Alright, question 11, do you have additional deductions taken from your paycheck? So I'm looking at my pay stub online right now, and besides the regular like taxes and FICA, we have state taxes and federal taxes, and then pre-tax deductions. So TRS in Georgia, that's teacher retirement system, health insurance, and then I also have a 403B plan. So every month a certain amount comes out and it goes into that plan to supplement my retirement, because I know retirement is not going to be enough when it's come time for me to retire. And then after tax deduction, I have my liability insurance. Georgia is not a union state, so you have to have, I'm guessing in general, I don't know how the states are, but you have to have liability insurance. Actually, even when you're in the education program, you have to have liability insurance. So I just stuck with the one I was using before, and that's about $7.30. Question 12. Do you feel like your current salary is enough for you to make ends meet? So currently, no. So like a person with a bachelor's degree, like a regular bachelor's degree in my district, their yearly income is about $39,790, and I get paid less than that because I have a provisional license. So no. Now once I graduate, my pay is going to increase by about $10,000. So then hopefully I'll be graduating next May, so fingers crossed. So then I feel like my pay will be enough to live or whatever. So I was looking at some other districts, and I'm just gonna tell you some other places in Georgia what their starting salary for a teacher who has a bachelor's degree, because that's how most teachers come out of a program in Georgia with a bachelor's degree, and they can just start teaching immediately. So in Atlanta Public Schools, T4 certification, their starting pay is $45,600. Gwinnett County, theirs is like $43,000. Fulton County's $44,000. DeKalb is $46,000. Chatham, that's Savannah area, that's about $41,000. Yeah. And then about a rural district in Georgia, Calhoun, their starting salary is $34,000. So I mean, of course, Georgia, the cost of living isn't too bad. So like question 13, how many months a year do you receive a paycheck? Now I don't know what's going on with my district, but my contract, my pay is for 13 months. I don't know how that works out, but my pay goes from August to August. I didn't have a choice in that. It's just how it is. I don't know. I don't know if it's just for new teachers or what, but I just looked at my contract again just to be sure, and yeah, 13 months from August to August, so I'll get paid every month. And it's supposed to be the last working day of the month. I'm not sure what they do during the summer because I'm not working. So, alright, question 14, in general, what are your major monthly expenses? So rent is the biggest one. My car is paid off, so I don't have to worry about that, but that still was very small payment, which is why I paid it off early, because I just paid more than I had to. Insurance, I pay my insurance every 6 months instead of monthly. It actually is due soon, so that's gonna be a big chunk of money right there. It would have been, student loans would have been a big chunk. However, I just qualified for the income-based repayment program, and since I get, right now my monthly payment that I need to make is $0 because they based it off of my income tax, and obviously I just started teaching in August, so my income tax last year, basically I was poor. So right now it's 0, but you have to recertify every year, so I know that's going to change because obviously since I've been teaching the whole year. So really rent, that's where most of my money goes towards, rent, utilities, and sometimes car repairs, because I've had to have a lot of car repairs and they've been really expensive. Some of them have been in the thousands. All right, question 15, are there any financial goals that you are still working towards? So there's a few. I do plan to get a specialist degree, and probably going to pay out of pocket for that, so that's one thing I need to be saving for, as well as a new car, because inevitably I'm going to need one. And I think that's about it. Obviously student loans, but with the income-based repayment program, that will qualify me for the loan forgiveness. So all I need to do is make the least amount of payments that I possibly can and have the government pay the rest off. So and I think that's basically it for right now. Once I get my specialist degree, then I feel that I can have some other financial goals, but right now that's it. Question 16. What is the biggest piece of financial advice you would offer someone considering teaching? Don't be afraid to move. Like, I've been watching some people and they're like, oh, I can't find a job. And that's because they're just looking in their area. Like, if you really want a job, you can find one. Okay. If you do have to have student loans, when you start teaching, when you first start teaching, make sure you get the income-based repayment plan. That's the only way that you can qualify for the loan forgiveness. And that way you end up paying like the least amount of monthly payments you possibly can pay, and the government pays the rest. So I know some people who have roommates because they can save money that way. I live by myself because I don't really care about saving money like that. I'd rather have my peace and quiet and be happy living by myself than to save a few $100s and have a roommate who annoys me. So, but it's up to you. If you don't mind having roommates, that's one way you can save money. If your parents will let you live at home for a couple of years, maybe try and do that. But really also, whenever you do get a pay raise, save that money. Because if you can live now with what you're currently getting paid, then when you get a raise, you should still be able to live the same way you've been living. Just save that extra money. So that is it for this video. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video.